So, so good night. It's 1:13 a.m. I was walking slowly on the backgrounds on the new canvases that I have, blue backgrounds, relatively big ones with oil background, which is atypical because it's dried slowly, but it's nice. And I also have some new, like I have red one and another blue one in acrylic. And I was thinking like about how do I continue? What is the most urgent? And I must tell you, the main thing my main conclusion, and I already stated it, but maybe I should state it even clearly, that I came to the conclusion that I don't care about the gates. I just don't care. What does it have to do with me? Yes, my life is manipulated around them, around this, but I've never been in the other side, and I have no intention to go there. And honestly, the problem is the fact that I am surrounded by predatory animals and snakes all my life, and it's only getting worse. And an even bigger problem is the fact that my children were taken from me. And when I thought about, the panic that I was kind of felt, at least of the recent batch, that I felt the most connected to emotionally are these ones. They will undergo a few changes. But initially, these were, these kind of things, whatever they think they are, were inside the gate, and then I repainted it so they are visibly outside the gate, so you can see that their body is stretched outside and they're stretched one into the other. And actually, the small ones are even quite cute. They have this kind of a naive, cute expression. Initially, it was meant to be something like a process of electrolysis, because it's hydrogen and oxygen. You see by the number of protons and neutrons, and then H2O2, two hydrogen atoms and two oxygen atoms, H2O to H2O2, electrolysis, separation of water to hydrogen and oxygen molecules. But so initially inside the neurons, or inside the gates that are inside the body. But then I thought that actually this implies that electrolysis takes place in my body, because these are the bodies of the humans, and their neurons, their gates are, they view my own body because they are interlinked with me, or they are riding me in their hideous expression. So I thought, no, I need to, I want the electricity to happen in their bodies, so I need to get it out. The gates should still be there to you see here there is like an empty one, just to determine that, that this is actually, a body of a human that is interlinked with me, or riding me. But they should be outside. And after some, suddenly hydrogen atoms looks quite cute to me. And they have this naive and cute expression, and the oxygen atoms are stretching their arms to it. I understood that. This is my own life. These are my two children, Owen and Eli, and this is their mother, and they are in jail, and I'm also in jail. And what I really want is my children to be out of jail, and so I would also be able to be with them. This is what I really want. Gates to Venus, not gate to Venus. Why should I care? How it is this? How did I ever benefit from it? Nothing. No, not at all. Regarding the Titans, as I said, I don't know. There are many. There are criminal and cruel ones, but can they be judged? I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. It's not for me to tell. I don't know. I don't want to be near snakes, and I don't want to be near predators and near I'm had enough of that. I want to live in a place without predators, without, the constant presence of predators, of predatory animals. They take my flesh and blood from me. They take my children from me. Enough of that. Why do I care about Titans? There can be Titans, or there can be Venusians, or there can be, I don't know, why do I really care? Why is that even a question? If there are Homo sapiens or Titans, it's not a question. The question is, can I live without the presence of predatory animals all around the place? Predatory animals. Prey, that want to eat me and my daughters all the time. Enough of that. So I do not care at all about the gates. I do care about, I pray to God to destroy all predatory animals from our surrounding. I have nowhere to go. That was made certain by years of trying to get people involved, but no one cares. No one cares. No one moving as only bounces and tongues. So as I said in the last few videos, I must stay right here, right where I am. But this place should be clean of predatory animals, which means every Israeli. If you don't understand, the circumstances of my life are very cruel. I was trapped into marriage, but this is something that in itself is kind of something that is known to be done by intelligence communities. Of course, now I know that. I didn't know that at the time, and I didn't know that there was anything special about me. But I was trapped into marriage to a woman that is a slave to the Israeli intelligence. She cannot disobey them. She cannot do it. And it doesn't really matter what are the circumstances. The circumstances, that's how her life is. She cannot disobey them. She's a slave to the Israeli intelligence. She cannot say no to the operators. This will be like that until the end of her life. Probably it happened because, and I mentioned it in the past, because when she was younger, she was presumably like an operative, and they caught her in a treachery or something like that. But this is all bullshit. It's kind of like in Israel. They will invent. It's not even a question whether it happened or not, or whether she's to blame or not. This is ridiculous. They invent truth whatever they want to be. They invent such stories. You will never know what's true and what's not true, because they will invent such things. That's what they're expert in, to frame people, to paint people. That's what they do. And it doesn't really even matter. What could have happened? She was young. What could have happened? What could have happened? When you know the people and you know her and you know the situation, you understand that they like to have slaves, and that's one of the ways where how do you get slaves. And the reality has nothing to do with that. It's just that they want slaves, and they received a slave, and they trapped me into marrying a slave, which is incredibly beneficial from their perspective, because immediately after I had the two daughters, they decided that we must we must divorce, and it should be in the most cruel way. And it kept and they are the one that fight me, not her. Of course not. She cannot have any saying on their life. They are the one that fight me. The Israeli intelligence, they fight me because they want the daughters to themselves, and it was like that since they were born. They want the children. Who are these social workers? They are all they are all operative of the state. They want the babies. They want the children. They want two children because they can be used like me to transfer diseases to them and to get neos, to get robots from them. The same that they do to me. Every time that they just get out of to the street, they do to them as well. The fact that they are 7 and 8 years old doesn't make any difference. They are doing it for many years. I don't know since when, because at the beginning I didn't even know that I didn't like any clue in the matter. But in retrospective, I understand that at least since they were 2 or 3 years old, they are doing this riding to them, which means that they are infecting them with their own diseases, and they take the robots from their body in order to have more energy and more life to themselves, to clean their body from the diseases. They do it to them since they were 2 and 3 years old, and they want to do it for the rest of their life. And I'm like, and they also want to do it to me. But the cow must be separated from the calves. Of course, that's the way it is in farms. They must be raised, Maybe the plan was not even they will be raised by their mother. Maybe they thought that their mother can get the command like to get out of their life or whatever. And then they will have like the and many several like when I still lived in Shoam, several like people in Shoam like from the social like like surrounding told me in very happy face that they would love to adopt like Orin, my older daughter. I found it repulsive. Like, do these things that it's funny? Because I already understood that there is some truth to it. That it's not a completely joke. It's like, 50% joke, but 50% not a joke at all. These predatory animals, they thought this guy will be out of the picture very soon. He's framed for so many crimes, and the mother is a slave. So maybe we can adopt these children. Because there was a lot. There was a ton of money. They can be, their pee and their bodily fluids can be used to sell it abroad in the process of creating radioactive materials, or better yet, to create radioactive materials inside their own bodies. And I will not be, I would not be surprised like if they already do it, but I have no way to know. But moreover, they are great vehicles, as they say, like starships or airplanes or whatever metaphors. They are not just titans, they are much more than that. They are cherubs, they are my daughters, which means there are a tremendous amount of robots in their body. So they can be ridden, and it's already taken place. And this was a lot of money, so of course many people in Shoam want to adopt these babies, these children, like they don't have parents. They do have parents. And the social workers, what do you think they are? They are instruments of the state that are used in order to take the children from the parents, because they was a lot to the state. This is the circumstances of my life. There is nothing about it that is even remotely related to a Stargate, however magnificent that it might be. My situation is that I am part of a cannibalized society, a society of cannibals. That civilized have no meaning at all. No meaning at all. They want to take the children to themselves in order to eat them. To eat the children, and they want to keep me as a slave in a mental institution. What is that to do with the gates? It's nothing to do. It's got nothing to do. The whole issue of the gates is, from my perspective, I don't know, rudimentary. I just mean something that is secondary. The issue is that I cannot live here, and I cannot raise my daughters because the predators, are always above us, looming above us, wants to take them to themselves. To eat them alive like they eat me, and they want to keep doing it. And the law of the land strictly approved this. Of course it's legal. It's not only legal, it's recommended. And it's executed by the authority of the state, by judges, by lawyers, by social workers, by the land, by the people of the land itself. All of them know exactly what's going on. That this is a plot to create 2 more slaves for the state that will be able to transfer their diseases to these children, and later to them when they are adults, and to take the robots from them with full approval of any kind of system of the state. And of course the father, he should be slaughtered, and if he's not slaughtered, he should be taken his national blood should be taken from him while he walks the street like a homeless person. And he should be institutionalized like he's retarded, or I don't know, a person that needs like guardian of the law. Doesn't matter how smart he is, that he's a genius, and that his capacity to do everything is like a million times larger than all of them combined. They do not care. Do you think that any of them care about room temperature superconductors? What the fuck should they care about room temperature superconductors? What can you do with this stuff? Manufacturing? Why do they care? Everything, they get everything from China in cargo, ships. Why should they care about manufacturing? This is ridiculous. Everything is arrived to Israel by using boats, including food, and especially, and certainly anything that is manufactured. Let it change if it's so important for manufacturing. So the Chinese should, allocate the resources that are required in order to invent, room temperature superconductors by themselves. So you say that it's difficult, so work harder. Chinese people work harder. Why should we, Israelis, give them our asset? Presumably because he speaks about room temperature superconductors. Fuck the room temperature superconductors. This is our food. Like a person in this department told me a month ago, this is my food that you throw away. which relates to the mixture that came from my body. This is my food. No, it's not your food, you predator. It's not your food. But that's the way that everybody in Israel think. We are their food. Why should they care about manufacturing? Why should they care about health? I mean, let the countries that actually manufacture stuff actually produce things, think about it. That's not their business. They are in the business of slave trade, and that's what they want to do. And of course, I am their property, and now my children are their property since they were born. This is the problem, not any gates to Venus and not any alien invasion. My life under a state that is the most cruel that ever existed, including any kind of cruel state that you can think about. There was never a worse country than Israel. Never in the history of humanity. Such things have not been done by the Aztecs. They have not been done, it wasn't done like even in the slave society of the southern United States. Such things were never done. Zohi Eretz Chemdat Avot. This is our beloved country, as they say in Hebrew. Beloved. This is just it. Have you ever read the novel Beloved or seen the movie? She won a Nobel Prize, if I'm not mistaken, or a Pulitzer. Yes, about slavery in the United States, but specifically about the issue of children and motherhood. How they taken the children from them like animals. Here is even worse. What they did to me is even worse. They didn't infect them with their own diseases. They didn't detect their flesh or blood from them. Everything that you see in Beloved in the movie or the novel by Toni Morrison, everything that you read in this novel or see in this movie was done to me, but in a much worse way. And it's still been done to me and my daughters. All of that, while the Americans that are the true bosses here are fully aware of what's going on. And are fully proof of that because of two reasons. First, they want the radioactive material that are taken from our bodies. We manufacture this stuff for you in a most cruel way. Do you think it's fun for these Titan females to manufacture radioactive material in their body and so people will get it out of their pee? Do you think it's fun for them? It's cruelty. Even if they are criminals, even if they are cruel themselves, and many of them are. This is reality. This is the sad, cruel reality. They are cruel slaves. But do you think that they deserve such a fate? Of course not. This is reality in Israel. And my reality is even worse because I am the key to operating these slaves. And I am treated the worst of the worst. The scum of the earth, are humiliating me, are preying on me like I'm an animal, me and my children. All of that is where the Americans are fully aware of everything that's going on, but they need the radioactive materials, and they also enjoyed of the drug itself, the tea, which is great for them, and it's always have been. And other countries don't want to intervene either because they need the radioactive materials, like France or others, or they don't want to mess with the United States because they are so strong. This is reality. The answer to this reality does not relate to the gates at all. It relates to the destruction of the snakes and of the children, the predators of children that are all around me. They should be destroyed. They should be killed until the last one. And from the emotional perspective, yes, I speak a lot about the symbolic language, which is something, like mathematical or certainly linguistic. But there is also the emotional, thing. We should all remember that there is God, and God is the boss, not, microbial robots. With all due respect to the robots, and I have a tremendous respect. But God is the one that rules the heaven and the earth. And from the emotional perspective, I feel much closer to these two paintings, even though the initial intention was completely different. But yes, I want to be freed of jail and to be able to touch my children, to be with them. Enough of the predatory animals. Enough. And this is also what I'm going to concentrate in the symbolic paintings. Not about the gates, but about the snakes and about the predators that eat children, and that me and I, of course, symbolized by visual depiction of the cherubs. We want to be out of jail, and we want the Cherubian starships, or like the great cherubs above, to annihilate the snakes and the thieves of children, the satans that are all around us. We want to live in a place without snakes and children eaters, without cannibals. Having said that, ultimately, and this is going to be materialized very soon, it's not like distant future. Ultimately, which will be a reality very soon, Homo sapiens could not live, adjacent to us. And that is for two reasons. The practical reason, that the place will be a radioactive swamp, as I've already said. This is true. Everything around us, I don't know in what radius, maybe the entire Earth, I don't know. Certainly large radius around us will be radioactive as shit. Hiroshima every day. Chernobyl every hour. This is, from the practical perspective. And from the essential perspective, or the ethical perspective, is that humans have proven, to the greatest possible extent, that they cannot live, around us without being predators to us. We don't want to live near predators. Now, regarding Titans or Venusians, I don't know if they are predators. They need to go away or die. And if they can live around us without eating my children, they are welcome to live like near us, and they have the capacity to do so because they have resisted to the radioactivity. Certainly, if they have the robots in their body, which is not a problem at all to make sure it happens, because all what is needed is just the yellow robots, and I have billions of them right here in this room. I have billions. No human will ever get even a spoon. I'd rather die a million times than give anything to you. And I implement this in that, I'm subject to torture all the time here, and I don't give them nothing. I have tremendous amount more than you can ever imagine. All of you that stole it from my semen from the garbage, in each of the jars here in this cabinet or in this closet there are billions of neurons, and that are magnificently larger than what you are accustomed to. This is a scientific fact. You will get none of it. This could have saved the lives of millions. You will get none of it. I will use it any way that I see fit. Be sure you will get none of it. Zero. Absolutely zero. Absolutely zero. It's not for you. What I'm going to do with it? Manufacturing stuff. And also, if there will be Titans that can live around me without eating my children, or without all the time plotting to eat my children, then yes, they can get some of it, which will make them, enable them to produce it in their own bodies, which is something that is natural to them. But I guess maybe they lost it because they are always using it as kind of a machine for the Israelis and the other people, to create stuff for them, like radioactive material. So yes, they can get some of the yellow ones, and they don't even need much. They just need a spoon out of the ocean that I have here, for them to be able to have ecosystem of red robots in their own body, which will make them completely immune to the radiation. So they can live here happily, and of course, my condition is just, I don't care about the gays. Do whatever you want. I want to be able to raise my children without predators. Without predators. I'm amazed that some people ask, can you really replicate the yellow? They don't call it the yellow neurons, they call it whatever they want, I don't know, the drug, whatever, the magical drug. Can you really replicate it? Is it true? Can you manufacture it? What is this channel? This is the main topic of this channel. There is more than 1,000 videos in this channel, and about 200 are related directly to this question. Like, what at this situation, why should I, would it help you that I will say, of course? Just watch the videos, there are so much evidence, detailed the research protocol, detailed the research diary, so much evidence with many, videos. So many videos, of the various procedures, the various, mistakes that I had along the way, the various approaches, the advantages, the disadvantages, the answer is, first, yes, and second, to watch, there's so many videos, on this. This is the main topic of the channel. And the second topic, which is greatly related, which is how to create life forms by the neros, which is also, we have maybe 100 videos, at least, on this topic. how to make them bigger and multiply outside my body, and also how to make them create life forms that are not themselves. Like, I mean, not other neurons, but other things like the wasp or the spider or worms or microbes or whatever, or bicycle bacteria and all sorts of stuff. All of this, of course, outside my body. I mean, I don't have experiments inside my body. This is a fact. I mean, the Israeli intelligence and the other people like all around the world are fighting. I mean, an unbelievably cool fight over the scraps of papers that of my masturbation papers that I throw outside because I mean the people all around me are violently forcing me to do so. So they fight over this stuff, which is incredibly important for them because this facilitates. Of course, you can manufacture a lot of stuff directly from it. I mean, anything that the red neurons can do, also the yellow ones can do, and much better and tremendously better. But they don't know about it. They don't care. They don't watch this channel. But what they do know, and this is true, that that if you give it to the females produce the red ones, and then they can create stuff like radioactive material, which is unbelievably cruel and stupid. And the fact that they are doing it inside their own body is unbelievably cruel and stupid. Like, why do yes, I can create it outside. In Crucible, and I've done it many times. This room is full of radioactive material, but really, who cares? I don't care about it. I could create gold if I wanted, but very early I understood that this would be counterproductive to my cause because the Shabak will only take it from me and enslave me even more. That's why I've said very early in this history of this channel, like February, March, that rationally, it's much better to create life forms and also to concentrate on multiplying the neurons and making them bigger than actually creating gold or diamonds. First of all, because if I have like method, and I do have now, of how to make them bigger and more numerous, this will be extremely beneficial for anything else that I will do. It doesn't. Any kind of other objectives will be, greatly leveraged by this fact, which is obvious. And second, life forms are much more beneficial to a prisoner than gold, because the wardens will take the gold, but they will not take the life. They will take the life forms, but to the detriment, to a very detrimental effect. This is not new. I spoke along with this line very explicitly since February or March. So yes, I can create gold, I can create radioactive material, I can create the radioactive material, much of it, but it's not my concern. My concern are life forms. Why? Because I want to be free. I want the predators to get out. I want to be free, and I don't have any weapon. Potentially I could, create atomic weapon, out of the radioactive material that I produce, and there are even like all sorts of guys out to do it, like in the internet. But this is very stupid because atomic weapons are dangerous. If you create life forms, first of all, they are tremendously more dangerous to humans, and they are not dangerous to me because they're not stupid. They can't hurt me, and they don't want to hurt me. I have no problem with the Full Metal Jacket or spiders or the radioactive bacteria. They are fine. We get along very well. We get along. But to humans, they are so much more dangerous than the Tsar Bomba, like the worst atomic nuclear weapon that have ever designed. They are so much more dangerous to you than any nuclear weapon that you ever had at your disposal. So this was the focus of the channel, and it was explicitly said that this is the way since February or March at least. Watch the videos. This is a public channel. Of course, it was blocked by all sorts of the Israeli intelligence and the Americans. But there's nothing I can do. I uploaded. From my perspective, I uploaded to a public YouTube channel. You do whatever you need to do to get access to it. There is nothing more that I can do other than that. It was always the main objective first, to multiply it outside my body and to make them larger, and second, to create life forms. This was explicitly said it starting February or March, and since then I conducted my research. According to these objectives, in the most rigorous way that I can do, of course, under the limitations of having no money and working in absolutely abysmal conditions, like in this room where I eat and sleep and I do everything. So what's this question? Can you multiply them out of my body? What is this stupid question? Just watch the channel. This is the main issue, the topic of this channel. Of course I can. I have billions of them, and larger ones, so large that you can almost see by the naked eyes. You don't have anything even close. You've never seen anything that you've never eaten anything that is even remotely that big. Not even fraction. My assumption is most of what you eat or produce is in the nanoscopic scale, and perhaps in the small microscopic scale. These are not even in the microscopic scale. They are in the robotic scale. They can be watched by the naked eye, almost. And of course, the life forms that they create are bigger than. Certainly can be seen by the naked eye. So what do you ask me? Of course I can. This is the main subject. Why don't I sell it? It's worth billions. I cannot sell anything. I'm a slave. They want me to be. They want me. The Israelis want. Their prescription to my life is that every day that I behave, I will get like 50 shekels from my mother. You should be my guardian because I cannot even, presumably according to their methodology, I cannot be responsible to my own money. I shouldn't even have bank account. I should only have cash, and my mother should give me like 50 shekels or 100 shekels, which is nothing, every day if I behave well. Which means if I do exactly what they want, which means give them all my flesh and blood and let them rape me, let me infect me with diseases, I should be their whore and their mattress, and then my mother will give me 50 shekels or 100 shekels, every day that I behave like that. That was always their plan. How is this plan, related to reality in any way? I don't know. You watch the channel. There are more than 1,000 videos. Watch this channel and decide yourself whether the person that it is speaking to you in this channel and conducting research, speaks about history, about science, about life, about God. If this person reflects the kind of qualities and skills and experience in life and education that deserve the fate, presumably, of being a whore and a mattress to the scum of the earth. So he will be given cash from his mother every day that he behaves correct way. You judge for yourself. Does this plan of the Israelis ever had any chance? Is it connected to reality, or is this coming from a psychotic mind that has no relation at all to reality? But this was the plan, and this is still the plan, that it should be like that. It should be like that. That's what they think. They should be like that. Just today, I received a WhatsApp from my mother that if I get out of now they want me to get out of this place. Temporarily. Even though I'm under arrest, because it's all manipulation that relates to the gate. So she will give me another 100 shekels or something like that. That's my life. They think that that's how it should be. Room temperature superconductor? What the fuck are you talking about? You're a mattress. Let us rape you and do exactly what we want, and maybe we will give you enough money to buy, I don't know, the most basic food like that, so you will be able to sustain yourself, but not more than that. That was always the plan. So no, you're not getting anything of the news because I cannot sell them. I couldn't sell them because they will not allow me. I cannot sell anything. I am under arrest, and of course I don't have any freedom at all. So no, that's why I didn't sell it until now, because I cannot sell it. And now I'm not going to sell it because the agenda is now completely different. Now the agenda is an independent state, and we will need to manufacture stuff. And it will be of great. I do not mean that the new Titanland will receive food and products by ships from other places, while the inhabitants of Titanland will be occupied with security, whatever that means, and torture and producing noise. No, that's not a plan. We will manufacture everything that we need, and we will grow everything that we need. And yes, billions of unbelievably sophisticated robots, much more than the red ones that you know. What you think that are so magical, the T, is like a mouse near an elephant or near a blue whale compared to the yellow ones. And this was demonstrated in this channel many times. So even one-to-one in comparison, this is what you think is magical is actually nothing compared to what I have. And I have it in sizes, in quantity that you cannot even imagine. And this is proof. This is proof just of what I throw away because I cannot have nowhere to put it. I mean, could have healed thousands, if not millions, of people of all the diseases. And it's in the not even in the trash, in the sand, so it wouldn't be able to salvage it. Yes, this was the agenda, and this is still the agenda, and the agenda is, and this agenda will not stop and will not change. Humans will not get it. We need it for our new country, for our new state. Who is we? Me and my daughters, and titans that, I mean, can live with us without eating my children. These are humans. This stupidity is not created by mistake. These are humans. These are humans. And if you don't, whoever you are, human or not, from the past or the future or the present, whoever you are that's listening to the video, you need to come to terms with reality. As it was difficult for me to understand it for quite some time. I couldn't believe that these are humans. I consider myself human up to the age of 35. And it wasn't easy for me to come to terms with reality, to understand reality. But initially, eventually, yes. Eventually, I went through a psychological process of seeing reality as it is. And these are humans. Humans are disgusting, are stupid, are disgusting, predatory animals, unbelievably egoistic and stupid and short-sighted. These are humans. These are humans, and they will never change.